Flow dreaming, still kinda woo-woo, is just what it sounds like. An escape into the world of woo. Also, a ride into you. And how to feel happier, wiser, and more self-aware in every way. It's your ultimate journey into personal growth and inner power. We'll explore ideas like how your energy self influences the kinds of opportunities you encounter, or how your personal growth can drive your business growth, or even how that feeling of being stuck is really always coming from something else. We just have to figure out what. That's right, we're a dash of woo-woo, a sprinkle of self-care, a heap of problem-solving and pattern-busting, and a giant cup of encouragement. We're going to relight so much passion, purpose, self-love, and confidence in you that you practically stagger. I'm Summer McStravick, your host, and welcome to Flow Dreaming, still kinda woo-woo. Hey friends, it is episode number 684. Welcome to the new year. I'm excited to be with you. And as I mentioned in the bonus trailer that I put up, I have completely rebranded the show. I know you're expecting episode 684 of Flow Dreaming, but really? This is episode 684 of Still Kinda Woo-Woo. And I just felt this urge, as I explained before, to, expand? I guess expand is the best way to say it. I will still be talking about flow dreaming. It will still weave itself in and out of our conversations together. But we're also going to, let our hair down and just kind of be more casual with each other. I've got some interesting new little pieces planned that I'm going to try and see how we all enjoy them and just kind of get to know you all better. A little less teacher, a little more friend. That is my intention. And today's show, appropriately, in that same vein, 24-hour pajamas. Yes, that's our title. Maybe that's why you actually clicked on it, because you thought to yourself, well, I have quite a few of those. Well, so do I. In fact, I will admit, I just realized I just looked down. I am still in mine. I won't tell you what time of day it is. So I'm fortunate. I work from home. I have a lovely company known as Flow Dreaming, and it affords me this gorgeous luxury of being able to, frankly, stay in my pajamas all day. So I do that. But when did I start doing that? Is it healthy to do that? Maybe we'll explore that a little bit in today's program. I also have some interesting new little bits that I'm going to share with you. I'll make them be a surprise here this first episode, but then you're going to get used to them. Overall, though, you're going to see a mix of ideas flying at you in the weeks ahead. Some of them are definitely self-improvement, personal growth, things that work for me, things that I've been coaching and teaching my students, my clients for decades on how to do. Manifesting, of course, whole heaps of that. That is the OG. I am the original manifester. Well, maybe not the original. I can think of a few earlier ones, Florence Scovel, Shin, Ernest Holmes, Louise Hay. I won't go into those, but I've been around a little while, and so I'm going to share all of those insights with you. Let's get back, though, for a second here to 24-hour pajamas. I was kind of inspired because I was having a conversation with my mom the other day, and we were both saying how we were still in our pajamas. And I said, it's funny. I go to bed, I take a shower, I put on some fresh pajamas, and pretty much that's the same thing that I do. A good 24 hours later, I change out of those pajamas, take a shower, put on a new pair of pajamas, and there I am. And this started, of course, during the pandemic, and it's not every day. This used to be a luxury thing that we did when we got sick. You had the flu or something. Everybody's like, stay in bed, wear your pajamas. And then we all had to stay home. And then we thought, well, these jeans are kind of itchy and tight. Do I really have to? Nah, I don't really have to. And gradually, a lot of us changed. The yoga pants that we used to wear, well, we're like, yeah, I like the yoga pants, but those even feel a little tight now. So eventually you got pajamas. Now, a lot of us were on Zoom. We did a lot of Zooming over the last few years. And I have what I call my Zoom shirt. And you probably have one too, maybe a couple. And that's the shirt that you leave somewhere in the house close to your computer. When you've got a Zoom call, you throw it on over your pajamas. Nobody knows. They don't look down below. And you got your Zoom shirt. Nobody really questions it either day by day. So you wore it yesterday and the day before. Slightly different people in every meeting. I know, not everybody gets to do this. You guys who are out there showing up to a retail shop, you're grumbling at me and you're like, I wish I could wear my pajamas. Well, guess what? You can. I've seen plenty of people wearing their bunny slippers out, so go for it. The idea, though, that I'm getting at with 24-hour pajamas is there is a healthy way to wear your pajamas, and there is an unhealthy way to wear your pajamas. And I've been thinking about that lately. I've been trying more in the mornings to make sure that what I put on is going to be indicative of my day. So for instance, if I'm saying to myself, I really, really need to start getting the 20-minute walks in, then in the morning, I put on my little jogger outfit, put on my little socks, bring my tennis shoes downstairs. This tells me at some point today, when you say it's probably time to go for a walk, there's not a single part of me that says, oh, I will in a little bit. Right now, I'm still in my pajamas. I don't feel like getting changed. I have removed that from my life, that out, as if you would, say. If instead I get up and I put on a nice blouse, I put on something good, put on some earrings, do my eyebrows, maybe, flat iron my bangs a little bit, try to look presentable. What I'm saying is today, I can be on video. Today, maybe I'll do a Facebook Live. Today, I am going to be outward facing. And so when it happens that maybe I get an impromptu call with somebody and they want to flick on their video, and normally I'd be like, well, I can't. I'm in my pajamas. Now I can. I've set the tone, the attitude for the day. Now, what I love is that I kind of get to change it up throughout the week. Sometimes it's a 24-hour pajama day because I don't give an F about it. Some days it's a put on a nice shirt, get that face looking, computer Zoom ready or whatever. Make sure that if you want to jot right on out to the grocery store, there's no hurdles to cross. You guys, being in your pajamas all the time is a hurdle to cross. It's I don't want to go get dressed, and I don't want to, it's just one more way for you to not do, right? Not go out there. And really, I think what we're talking about is kind of a deeper energy state that we're in. Yeah, emotional, you could say. Sounds like, some of us are depressed, Summer. It's like, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Some days, though, we're just quiet days. Those are your pajama days. But if every day is a quiet day, if every day is a nope, not putting on anything but, what I went to bed in last night, yeah, your energy is telling you. Like your very clothing has given you a giant clue. Oh, something's up here. You don't have the motivation, the inspiration. Why? And then, of course, that's where the work comes in, the good work. Because I'm tired, because, I'm kind of burned out and bludgeoned from the whole last few years, because I lost my job and I haven't wanted to find anything and I'm feeling down about it because I broke up with my partner, and you're starting to see, yes, everything that's inside of us, you guys, manifests outside of us in some way. There's always a clue. There's always a little visible tell. Like a tell, like a gambler has, that little thing they do when they're going to lie about their cards in their hand or whatever. We all have tells. 24-hour pajama days can be my tell if I'm doing it every day. If I'm doing it now and then, it's a treat. But I'm watching. Other tells, right? That glass of wine that we have in the evenings when it morphs into 2 and 3 and 4. That's a really big tell. A tell is saying, hey, what are you needing to come down from? What kind of stress or anxiety is all caught up in there? Do you even see it? Do you even know what it's about? Or is it just kind of everywhere? Like mold or moss growing over rocks. There's lots of tells if we look outside. Did you give up doing your hair? That's a tell. What other things? Have you not gone any place in days? That's another tell. Just look around, look outside you. Have you not talked to your friends in a while, like a long while? That's a tell. Other kind of tells, of course, are beautiful tells. They're things that are like, that's telling me I'm doing pretty darn well. I got to the gym 3 times a week. I did my grocery shopping, finally, on, Friday morning before everybody else was there. I carved it out. I made time. Now, some of these tells are saying, some part of me is waking up, spinning up, getting more a hold of things, feeling inspired by things. So look around. What are your tells? Is it your 24-hour pajamas? Is it something positive that you've started doing, that you're feeling like, yes, I'm going to do more of this. This is working for me. This wasn't as hard as I thought. And I think now is actually a good moment for a little break. In fact, I have something fun for you. Welcome to Shower Thoughts. That's right. This is where we take a moment to reflect on something that may not have an answer, but which still makes you think. Something you can muddle on in the shower or while you fall asleep tonight, while you drive someplace. What have I got for you? Well, look, this comes from the Los Angeles Times. It's an article called Strange Coincidences by Deborah Netburn. Thanks, Deborah, for the inspiration. She writes about a researcher and author named Bateman who became fascinated with what he calls meaningful coincidences. Now, I'm reading from her article. He became a professor of psychiatry at the University of Missouri Columbia, published papers and so forth, started a nonprofit, the Coincidence Project. And he says, what I look for as a scientist and a spiritual seeker are the patterns that lead to meaningful coincidences, says Bateman from his home in Charlottesville, Virginia. And this lovely fellow is 80. He's been doing this for a while. Anyway, Bateman defines a coincidence as 2 events coming together with apparently no causal explanation, and they can be life-changing. Here's where it gets it's interesting, where the shower thought part comes in. Some of us believe in coincidences as a kind of divine communication. Certainly, I've talked a lot about coincidences, that flood of things coming together in a meaningful way. It's not a random way. There is a pattern involved in how these things come together. And that pattern evokes something different inside of you. It evokes a response. It evokes an epiphany. It evokes a change, a waking up sometimes, or an awareness, or a sense of relief. So if you're the other kind of scientist who says, well, coincidences are just mathematical probabilities, and every now and then you do roll, 1 12 times on a die. But it's a mathematical thing. The complexity here, the part that I want you to think about is, does it matter if it's divinely guided versus a strange mathematical, probability that just suddenly came to life? Does it matter if the end result is the same? A moment where you check in and go, and you see something, you feel something emerges in you as a result. For me, that is the only important point about this. The origin is almost irrelevant. It can be relevant if you're someone who wants to feel and does feel loved, guided, brought to the right information at the right time. But you don't even have to go that far. All you have to do is think, did this change me? Was there a pattern that was revealed? So many things that stacked up together where I went, oh, and I felt something. That, my dears, is our shower thought today. Sometimes we need a good old cathartic do-over. We've been flatlining, emotionally spent, and wrung out like an old washcloth. We want to feel a different way, be a different way. We've plateaued. We're stuck. We need to gain purpose and direction and feel good again. We want to find the self-worth, confidence, and inner strength that got wiped away from years of frustration, disappointments, and emotional depletion. We're ready to up-level and go bigger. And when we do, we want to know that we'll be wildly successful at it. This is what's kept me busy these last couple of years. I wrote a book all about how to reinvent yourself, up-level, and find your path again. I wrote 3 books, actually, but only one is on its way to you. It's called Stuff Nobody Taught You. And I took all the lessons from me school and wrote them out. Not only that, but I go through me school in the book with you, right alongside you. We both reignite and maybe even reinvent ourselves by the end. There are 40 actionable lessons. I want you to read just one small chapter a night and then do or think about whatever I ask you to do at the end. It's a formula and it works like crazy. If you pre-order the book today, I've got some fabulous bonuses for you. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, wherever you get your books. If you're listening to this and the book is already out, though, don't worry, I've got some goodies for you too, including downloadable worksheets that will make reading it so much easier. So, here it is. Stuff Nobody Taught You. I sure hope you love it. There we are. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I have a couple fun little segments that I will be popping in from time to time. Let's return to 24-hour pajamas. I've been thinking that, back in the day when you used to have to put on pantyhose and skirts and heels and slacks and ties and aprons and hats and all kinds of uniformy things. The uniform was a kind of visual communication to everyone around you. I'm here for a particular business, and we are all doing this as a group. So we are kind of giving each other's visual, emotional clues all day long. If you worked in a bank and everybody had to put on suits and heels, you were saying we are all professionals. I am, you are. We are instilling this look coming across to our clients, customers this way so that they feel some sort of authority with us. These clothes that we wear are always messaging others. And casual Fridays, remember when those came around? Everyone was like, and then it was like a sneaky fun thing. Like, we know we're professionals, but there's this one day. Because why? Because our workplace, it's cool. We're very cool. And that's what Casual Friday communicated. Coolness, hipness, being relevant. So as I sit here in my pajamas right now, I realize what I'm communicating is, if you come to my door and you're a neighbor, I am not going to get the bell. Because why? I'm embarrassed. I wouldn't show up like this. What I'm really communicating is, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want them to see me. There are certain things that I am not going to do, will not think about doing. Why? starts to get really interesting, doesn't it? How the way we dress is a communication device. It's also a way that we either open ourselves to or block ourselves from having certain kind of experiences during the day. Probably haven't thought about that, have you? It's different than, high school, college. You're like, yeah, I'm going to dress alternatively. I'm going to dress like a jock. I'm going to dress like a geek or a preppy, or I know I'm using all of these words from the 80s, but whatever. I'm going to dress like that. Because we wanted to communicate, this is who I am. This is what I'm into. And in a way, we were also shutting certain people out and advertising ourselves to certain others. We've shifted a little since then, not necessarily all that much. Whenever I see, a certain, how do I say this? There are certain types. You look at certain people and you're like, well, they just check that box. Maybe it's the guy in the golf shorts and the polo top with the crew cut, and you're like, I kind of read you, buddy. Or it's the mom with the stroller and the water bottle and the perfect outfit and brand new tennies, and I'm like, I see where you're at too. Yeah, we all do this though, and to come up with these sort of cliched, looks when I'm describing, it's not even so obvious all the time. Often it's like I want to be artsy, and so I will just be something completely different. But it's still a look. And we're still communicating with that look. What are we communicating? Me? I've got the mom in the ponytail, hasn't washed her hair in a few days, wearing basically, yoga pants and some long baggy shirt over it. So yeah, that's going to be me. And I'm probably indicating a certain thing to the people around me. A certain amount of, I don't really care about this. I've got all this other stuff on my plate. I'm busy. Leave me alone. Maybe not leave me alone. I'm making myself out to be so much more antisocial than I am. My God, I'm actually quite social. But, yeah, I guess the 24-hour pajamas does tell you something. As does the outfit that's like, it's just my go to the store. I don't expect to see anybody I know kind of thing. What does all this have to do with energy? Let's pull this conversation back to that a little bit. I always say that our energy precedes us. The energy that you move with and go forward with. People read it, they smell it. It just wafts off of us. It radiates from us. When you see someone, you see a friend, and you can just tell when their energy is, You can also tell when they're on fire, when they're running the room. It's an energy that comes from you. And often what we decorate our bodies with, our clothes, is reflective of that energy. Usually they match, not all the time. If you are forced to go to a workplace and put on a certain look and you ain't feeling it, there'll be a mismatch. It will be confusing for people around you. It'll take them a second to figure out why what they're feeling and what they're seeing aren't going together. But that's the energy of us. And like I said, we put things on that typically match that. So if you're curious, what is my energy? Just take a minute right now. What did you wear all week? When did you change those clothes? Into what did you change into? How did you feel doing it? There's a great deal of self-awareness that can come from just this silly little thing. Silly little pajamas. All right. You guys ready to keep going? Are you enjoying this new format? It's a little more chatty, and it's letting me just kind of pitch some balls at you that you can catch and enjoy, or throw back and say, nah. Yeah, let's keep going. I have another segment that I want to introduce you to today. It is a little bit about me. Personal. It's personal stuff. Yeah, I was inspired to do this a bit by my mom. She has a beautiful podcast called Dear Venus, where she does a lot of interesting things. She talks to dead people. She talks to live people. She talks to live callers. It's fun. But a great deal of her show is inspired by our family and the things that go on in her life. And there's a lot of kind of just keeping you up on what's going on with them all. And people ask me too, Summer, why don't you just tell us a little about your life sometimes? And I say, it's not interesting. But it is kind of interesting. I'll tell you something. I'm going to try and tell you little things here and there, a little bit now and then, so you can kind of get an idea. First of all, if you're meeting me for the first time, I have been married to my high school sweetheart for like 25 years now. We've actually been together 35 years. Yeah, I'm that old. I am that old. We have two beautiful children, teenagers both. I have been through so much. Been through breast cancer, been through corporate America, been through building my own beautiful company, speaker, teacher, lots of things, ups and downs, highs and lows. Well, one of the latest things that's been going on in my life is I bought a house a few years ago, my dream house, to be honest. Post-cancer, one of my thoughts was, you never know where life is going to take you or how long you've got. So why do you keep waiting to enjoy yourself? So I absolutely went panicky and said, hey, let's buy this house that is way too big for us in all different ways. But I love it. I love it because it has massive gardens and the whole place is landscaped like a tropical paradise. We have mango trees. We have plumeria. I grow mandevilla. I grow lilies. I grow so much. Bananas, passion fruits, pineapple guavas. It's an amazing place. Well, the one thing this place had for a number of years was 2 giant empty concrete ponds, like ugly, empty concrete ponds. And I remember the very first time I saw this place, I said, there's supposed to be koi ponds. That's supposed to be a koi pond. I don't know why it's not. So for years, I sat on these ponds saying to myself, I'll get to it. It's a big job. It's a big task. In fact, even finding somebody who knows how to build or remodel a koi pond is extraordinarily difficult. But I did. Finally did. So today, now, I just want to share with you, I have a beautiful little koi pond. It's all black bottomed, very Zendic. I built a deck around it. I can actually walk through this little bridge on the center of the pond. And I have 12 little baby koi. They're only about 3 inches long. I didn't know if they'd survive, so I didn't want to go right for the big ones. Plus, I wanted to train them. Did you guys know you can train fish? It's the weirdest thing. I've done this before, actually, with a different, smaller pond, but I'm training my little babies. They eat from my hand now. They know whenever it's lunchtime, and they come up and they put their little fishy mouths all over my hand as they eat their little food, and they're going to do that even as they grow to these, 2-foot behemoths. I may not let them suck on my little hand at that point. I don't know how that will feel. But the point is, I love them, and they're fabulous. Now, my pond is leaking, so I'm going to keep you updated on the saga of this because the guy who built the pond, he's a really nice man, but he doesn't communicate with me at all. So, oh my goodness, the leaking pond saga is continuing. I am hoping that I get the leak fixed next week. If not, leak. I will let you know what happens. It's funny because a lot of times we do get things in our life that seem like they're kind of metaphorical. That, you get a broken pipe in your house or a leak in your roof or a gas leak, something not right. and you think to yourself, I wonder what this means. What does my leaky koi pond mean? What am I not addressing? Where is something leaking out in my own life? The universe tends to give us these little hints. Well, depends on if you believe in coincidences, right? Going back to shower thoughts. But I tend to believe it. So I'm looking around. What's leaking? What's leaking? There you go. That's a little update on something going on with me. Not that exciting, I know, but I'll keep you posted. Now, before we wrap up today's episode, I want to tell you about one more segment that is currently needing your help. It's my mailbag. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to receive some emails from you about things you would like me to address, questions that you might have about life, the universe, your life. It can't be something where you want me to give you a reading and it's like, 8-page long email. I can't do that. Can't do it on a podcast. But if you have a question like, how does this work? Or why is this happening? Or what do you think about? I would love to read that and share it with our entire audience. So email me, summer@flowdreaming.com, and I will love to see what floods in. Also, if you haven't found my Facebook community, I have a group called I Love Flow Dreaming. I hope you'll go join it. It's where I pop in from time to time and also give you updates and let you know what's going on. Finally, if you haven't visited flowdreaming.com, please do so. There are so many extraordinary things that I have put up there in the last couple of years, including almost 24 courses on all different topics, plus the usual 200 flow dreams that you can peruse, create with, manifest with. You got this. Go there and check it out. And with that, my loves, my darlings, I hope you enjoyed today's show and you'll come around, pop in again next week. Like I said, some shows are going to be teaching, some shows are going to be chit-chatting, some shows are just going to be about life and feelings and such. I may even interview people from time to time. We're just going to go all different places. And yeah, it may take me a little bit to settle in to the new face, the new format. It always does. Even though I've done so many episodes with you, whenever you shift, it takes a little bit. You're going like, yeah, I like that. That worked. Or, yeah, that was kind of boring. I don't think I'll do that again. It'll probably take us a little time, but I hope you'll stay with me. It always is going to make you feel good to listen. It's always going to get your mind off things to listen. And, well, one thing I do hope to continuously sort of instill or drip into you is that really positive mindset, that positive vibe set, that reminder that you can do anything. You can be anything. You can become anything. You can shift. You can take a big chance like I'm doing right now, changing my podcast. That's a chance. Big chance. Got a lot of flow dream lovers who might be wondering, what? Well, I'm taking a chance. And I want you to do it too. So watch me take mine. And I'll see you next week for another episode of Flow Dreaming. Still kinda woo-woo. So this show is in its 19th season. 19 years, folks, which means if you want to see Baby Summer and all that she was obsessed about, you can. I just put 10 seasons of archives up into Apple Podcasts. And at the moment, there's a 7-day free trial. This means you can binge to your heart's delight. You'll hear hundreds of flow dreams, all kinds of specialized manifesting topics, so much. All you do is go to Apple Podcasts on your iPhone or get the Apple Podcasts app on any phone, or even just Google the search words Apple Podcast Flow Dreaming. Anyway, it was a big endeavor, but I'm so happy to re-release so many hundreds of episodes for you. Check it out.